like on paper? Okay, well, let's draw the nose from the front. There's the bridge, and then you've got a bobble at the end, and then on either side, the two balls are the nostrils, like that. So already that's beginning to look a bit better. And from the side, you've got a bridge there, and then you've got the bobble on the end, and then you've got one of the balls, or the nostril, on one side, and you can't see the other one because it's on the other side of the nose. Now, of course, not all noses look the same. Sometimes you may have a very short bridge with a huge bobble on the end like that, and you can hardly see the two nostrils because they're just tucked away. Or you may have a very long, droopy bridge with hardly any bobble on the end, like that, and maybe two big nostrils at the side. Now, it's amazing how much character a nose can give a face. Watch what happens when I draw the same face with different noses. Let's start with a very distinguished nose, like that. Okay, remember that. And then let's do a very different nose on this one. What about a little turned up bobble at the end? There, like that. So it's already looking a bit different. And then on this one, let's put a sort of very wobbly, broken conch, something like that. And then again, something very different, a long bridge, little bobble at the end, and huge nostrils, like that. And you know, it's amazing how much a nose can give a cartoon character its identity. Let's have a bit of fun with this. Look at this. Okay, Buster, said Mr. Big, with the big bobbly nose. Where did you put the jewels? Duh, no problems, boss, said Buster, the crook, with a very crooked nose. I've hidden them where no one will ever get a whiff of them, boss. Just put his hair in like that. Nice broken nose there. Ah, no one will ever get a whiff of them, eh? That's where you're wrong, said Inspector Boffin, with a turned-up, pointy nose. I know exactly where you've hidden the jewels. You've stuffed them up your nose. Yikes. Ew, how clever of you, said Lady Snooty, with a little delicate button nose. However did you know? Elementary, Mom, said P.C. Hooter, with a very distinguished nose. He knows because he has a nose for sniffing out crime. Do you have a bit of difficulty drawing people? What you need is one of these. It's called a mannequin, and look at this, it's got all these wooden parts of the body that you can move into any position to help you practice drawing people. Now, you can get these smart shops. The problem is they can be a bit expensive, so why not make your own? All you need is a sheet of thin card. Now, you can use cereal box card, and the first thing you've got to do is draw all the parts of your mannequin's body, and it's not as hard as it sounds. All you need to remember is sausages and eggs. Don't worry, I haven't gone mad. Watch this. For the body, you need to draw two egg shapes. Now, they have to be roughly the same size, but they don't have to be neat. You can neat them up a little later on when you're cutting them out. Then draw a smaller egg shape next to them, and that will be the head. And then you need a neck on there, roughly the same length as your head and the same width. And now the sausages. These will be for the arms and legs. And just draw 8 sausages. And don't forget, sausages are thinner than eggs, but if you can, make them roughly the same size as your eggs. And again, I'm just doing it quickly here to show you. You can neaten it up and you cut them out. When you've done them, do 4 half-size sausages for the hands and feet. There they are. And then cut all the parts of your mannequin's body out. Position them roughly into the position of your mannequin. Can be a little bit fiddly to do, so just bear with me there. And there you have all your mannequin bits. That's simply just a case of overlapping all the pieces and create your mannequin's body. Tuck the head in there, put the 2 bits for the body. There's the arms, the hands on the end, and the legs there. Slip them, overlap them, and there, finally, all the feet. And then you've got to join all these bits together using some of these. These are split pins, I'm sure you've seen them. You can get them from stationery shops, they're very cheap, or you might have some spare ones lying around in school. And the way to do this is to take one of the parts of the body that you want to put a pin in and just pierce with a sharp pencil a little hole as near to the edge as you can get, and put some sticky tack underneath to save the furniture. And again, into the other bit you're going to stick it to. And then slip your split pin in through the hole on one, and then through the hole on the other, bit fiddly, but then you open out the split pin at the back like that. Watch your fingers here. There we are. And you have a join that moves. And when you put the whole lot together, you'll have something that looks like that. Look at that. Your cardboard mannequin. And then it's just a case of putting him into any position you like, and you can copy him and practice drawing body shapes. Now that's a mannequin from the front view, but what about a mannequin from the side view? Well, you can do that as well. In fact, the pieces are all identical, except that this time, instead of putting the arms on the side of the body, you put one on the front and one on the back, and then you pop your pin through the three of them, and then your leg on the front and a leg on the back, and again you pop your pin through the two legs and the body, and there you have a front and side view. And when that's done, it looks something like this. Look at that. And the great thing about these mannequins that you can't do with the wooden one is you can draw around them. Now if you take a pencil and just draw very roughly, it doesn't have to be neat again, around the body of your mannequin, holding all the parts into the position. And let's just go all the way around. I'll do it quickly here to show you. And there it is, rough body shape in pencil, and then you can put the detail in a little later on in ink. And that's exactly what I've done here with these two pictures. Look at that, there's a skier. I did that in pencil first, and there is a dancer, again done in pencil and then inked over later. And of course you rub out the pencil lines. Now they really are worth doing, you know, because they do help you practice drawing body shapes. Do you know, a lot of famous artists have difficulty drawing hands. Well, I found a good way of doing them. Simply divide them up into sections. Now what have we got here? Well, the palm of my hand I've drawn like a plate, and hanging off each side of the plate there is 3 sausages for each finger. And for the thumb, I've got 2 sausages there. There it is. Now it's just simply a case of watching what each of those sausages does. Now look at this. Put my hand into that position. What have we got there? Well, we've got the plate, and there. And we've got 1, 2, 3 sausages there. We've got 1, 2, 3 there. And the thumb, we've got 1, 2, pointing up like that. Now if you do this in pencil, you can go over it afterwards with a pen. And then it's just a case of, when you've done it, rubbing the pencil out. There you have it, a hand. Handy thing with sausages. Don't forget, keep practicing, and when you've got the hang of some of these techniques, you'll be ready to start making your own cartoons and comic strips. And finally, here are some great tips to make your drawings really dazzle. There are loads of different types of coloured paper you can buy, and the great thing about coloured paper is you can use the colour as part of your picture, so you sort of get one colour or shade for free. For example, look at this picture of a ball that I've started here. I just shade it in at the back here using some charcoal, and then I put some highlights on it using some light chalk. You've got the dark shade of the charcoal, you've got the light shade of the chalk, and you get these medium shades of the coloured paper for free. Now, there are some great textured coloured paper that you can buy, which is perfect for drawing on in charcoal and chalk, but they can be a bit expensive. So this is what I do. I tear off a strip of scrap cardboard from a cardboard box, and it's got a great texture on it for drawing on, and you can also use the colour of the cardboard as part of your picture. So okay, I'm just going to start to block in the detail on my picture. Just very sketchily doing it. Now this is something the old master artists used to do many years ago. People like Toulouse-Lautrec. He would just grab any old piece of board and use the colour of the board cardboard as part of his picture. And you know, Toulouse-Lautrec, he's the one that did those fantastic sort of French posters. And you know, this is something else the old masters used to do. If they made a mistake, they wouldn't use a rubber to rub out. They'd use some ordinary bread. And it really is a good rubber. Just watch this. I just rub that corner there where I've made a slight mistake. I want to alter it. And just blow the bread away. And there it is. It's gone. And it's as good as a rubber. You can even use it for pencil. And just continue blocking in the shapes of my picture. Like this. And again, I'm just doing it very light with the charcoal. It's very wispy. I love this effect, you know. I love drawing in charcoal. It's sort of, it almost does your picture for you, doesn't it? It makes it look very arty. I never thought I'd hear myself saying that. I don't like things that are too arty. But watch this. I'll put some more detail in onto my picture now. Using the charcoal. Just a bit of hair around there. And maybe a sleeve there. And again, you don't have to be too neat with charcoal. I think if you start to be too neat with charcoal, it really does spoil the picture. And yeah, I bet you've guessed what this is by now. There it is. That sort of gives it away, doesn't it? I don't know who it is though. I suppose with the long hair it could be Agassi. Although he probably changes his hairstyle by the day. So there you go. A little bits of detailing on the socks down there. And again, just gently stroking the charcoal across my picture. Now I'm going to put some shade in. I'm using the charcoal on its edge here, and what I'm doing is I'm just looking for those areas that the light can't get to. So if the light is shining from this direction on my picture, all these edges will be in shadow or shade. That's it, down there like that. And again, not being too particular about it, just letting the charcoal sort of dances across your picture. Does the picture for you. Look at that. Now just add some highlights in with a little bit of chalk, maybe across there, these highlights where the sun or the light can get to. There. Across there like that, maybe a bit on his racket. So that'd be glistening in the sun, wouldn't it? A bit up there. And just around his bottom there, like that. Down there. And on his socks. And you know, this is something you wouldn't be able to do on white paper. That's the beauty of coloured paper or card. You can add highlights in using white chalk. And I'm not going to do too much. There it is. Just finish it off, maybe put some shadow down the bottom. So you've got the darker shade of the charcoal on your picture, you've got the lighter shade of the chalk, and you've got the medium shade of the cardboard for free. Try it yourself, a 3-shade cardboard picture. Just take a very quick look at this cartoon that I've drawn. Now what do you think is missing from the picture? I'll give you a clue. It's something that follows you around all day. Got it? Shadows. But where do you put the shadows in your picture? Well, here's a good tip. Look for the place that the light can't get to. Now in this picture, the light is coming from this street lamp here, so I'll just chalk that in like that. And it'll be shining out in this direction. And it'll be shining down onto the man down this side of him, so the light won't be able to get to this side of him. So I'm just going to draw in the shade down his left hand side there, and of course no light will be able to get under the brim of his hat, so I'll put that in. I'm just doing it very quickly like that, putting shadow or shade all the way down that side where the light can't get to, all the time looking for those little nooks and crannies. And put it on his legs as well, because the light won't be able to get under his coat. And don't forget, he'll be casting a shadow out across the pavement because the light can't get to it because he's standing in the way, and also up the wall like that. And there it is. Now one place the light will be coming from in a lot of your pictures is the sun. When you're drawing your picture, you have to decide where the sun is in your picture. And let's just put it peeping over the horizon.